Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 12 of my MLB 14 The Show, Road to the Show, with Saul Goodman, the third baseman for now the Tampa Bay Rays. We will be making our Major League debut here. First, though, we have a plate discipline, and I laugh at Saul's reaction there after he kind of fails this plate discipline training thing, and it's not a good start and maybe not a great omen. As it is cool to be at the Trop, though. It's good to kind of get our first taste of the Trop, our new home park for hopefully a long time. So our Major League debut is going to come in the 5th game of the season, actually our 6th game of the season, going up against the Boston Red Sox, my personal hometown team. Not really Saul's hometown team, although I do believe he did come from the East region. So back on track, though. Saul will make his Major League debut today, getting the start at third base. I've touched on it before, but it'll be interesting to see where Joe Maddon uses Saul Goodman as a bench player on this team. They already have a pretty good infield going right to left with Loney, Zobrist, Escobar, and Longoria. So not a lot of room for Saul there, who really can only play the infield. DH is pretty weak for this team. Allen Jones, the AAA player who batted third primarily for the Durham Bulls last year, got the call this year. He will be the full-time DH as of the start. So Goodman could find a role there, or maybe even find a role playing it something like second base with Zobrist DHing her. Zobrist is pretty versatile. He can move to the outfield if there's a hole there, and then Goodman can fill in at second. So there's a lot of opportunity for Goodman, but it'll be interesting to see how Maddon uses him. So to kick off 2015, Goodman's got his first Major League at-bat going up against Felix Doubront. The 0-1 count. Goodman takes it the other way, hooking down the right field line, but that will be caught by Shane Victorino. So Saul's first at-bat does not go according to plan. The second at-bat, bottom of the third, is even worse. A strikeout on a nasty curveball from Felix Doubront, and Saul is 0 for 2, and he would go 0 for 5, and Joe Maddon really quick to jump on the rookie here, not giving him any leeway, trying to get the most out of his players. Maddon is a player's manager, but he does want to get the most out of his team, so he wants his guys to perform. And in his second game, Saul's second game would be the Sunday capper, I guess, of the series against the Red Sox, and Saul not doing so well, strikes out against Lester there. Here we get a start at shortstop, though, and this is something you're going to see a lot of. Shortstop, second base, third base. Saul's going to be thrown all over the place pretty much in his first season, it appears, but he does go 0 for 4, another strikeout. So we start out our season 0 for 8. Moving on to a series against Texas, you can see simulating ahead, and we're going to get a pinch hitting opportunity here in the bottom of the 8th. I believe actually came in as a defensive replacement, but we do get an at-bat. But it does not turn out to be a successful one. A double play, and now Saul is 0 for 9 to start out his career. Not a good start. Saul obviously had higher hopes coming to the Major League level, but weekend series against Toronto, the Saturday day game, and that's going to be our first Major League hit off of Drew Hutchinson. Goodman bloops one into left, and that will be Saul's first career hit. As I said, give that baseball back to the first base coach. Put that one in the Hall of Fame, because that's where Saul's heading in his career, and they're going to want to remember just when he got that first hit. So here we go, top of the 4th, second at-bat of the afternoon, and Goodman kind of breaks his bat here down the third baseline. Hutchinson to first, but not in time. So Saul finally catching a break here, and maybe this is just what Saul needs, a couple breaks. We end up going 2 for 4. We actually strike out in the 9th, but still a 2-hit game, even though there were 2 kind of bloop hits. We will take them, so we don't get any playing time really until the next weekend against the Chicago White Sox. And you can see how the division is turning out right now. We are 9-7 off to a bit of a slow start, but either way, still only 2 games back. So Saul here going up against Jose Quintana, and the Chicago White Sox blast one into left center field. That gets down as a gap shot, and that is something you want to see out of Goodman. He's a double hitter with great gap power, and when he's hitting the gaps like that, you know he's starting to feel it. So maybe Goodman can start turning it around here later in the game. Top of the 4th inning, Quintana still on the mound, 1-0 Rays. That is going to be a walk. Great take by Goodman on the curveball. That's a tough pitch to lay off on a 3-2 count. So top of the 8th, now later in the game, Goodman charges one to the deep left field. That one is back, and that one is gone. Saul Goodman's first career Major League home run, his second hit of the day, third time reaching base. It comes off of Sean Camp, and that is one for the record books. Hopefully the first of many. You can see Joe Maddon finally appearing to be supportive of his young third base prospect. You can see Loney gives him a high five on his way back to the dugout, and as he gets into the dugout, you can see he gets the old silent treatment. This does get a little bit generic after a while, as it pretty much happens to everyone's first Major League at-bat, or Major League home run in MLB 14 The Show, or in MLB any of the show in recent years, but Either way, still kind of a cool thing that MLB includes. You can see we're playing shortstop this game. We're going to turn a nice 6-4-3 double play right here, and that will actually cap off a victory. So definitely Saul's best game of his career so far. Like I said, he reaches base 3 times, gets a home run, and the Rays pick up a win. 2 for 3 on the day. Scores 2 runs. Just overall, great performance out of Saul. Really excited by that. So you can see the really big thing about this team is its pitching. Jeremy Hellickson off to a great start. ERA less than 1, and we would win this game, but Saul goes 0 for 4. Appears to kind of be back on the schneid a little bit. The winning streak continues for the Rays, though. We're up to 14-7, so we've won a few in a row now. If you guys remember the last standings, I showed we were 9-7. Goodman takes that into right field for a base hit once again off of Drew Hutchinson. Goodman appears to be kind of owning Hutchinson here early in his career as he lines that one into right field for a single, but we only go 1 for 4 that day, so maybe not owning him as much as I would like to. But either way, later in another series against the Rays, bottom of the 7th, Goodman getting an opportunity here, and he's going to line that one into left field for a base hit, an RBI. Just Saul's second RBI of his career, the first one coming on that home run, so that's something Saul has yet to do really so far, as produce runs, but hopefully that will come along later in the season. But we go 1 for 4, kind of a lot of just single hit days, really not hitting that well so far. Goodman lines that one down the left field line, but don't be fooled by the kind of hits that I'm showing you. Remember, I really only show the hits, I don't really show the outs, and our average is still kind of in the 200s. You can sort of follow that by seeing the post-game kind of line for Saul each game. But here's the start at second base. Like I said, we're going to be pretty much all over the infield so far in our Major League career, and you can see I changed his number to 13, and I also gave him a little bit like of a sleeve and changed his shoes around. I kind of changed how he looks around a little bit just for the hell of it, so it's good to switch things like up, but I'll try to stick to one number throughout his Major League career. So we go 1 for 3, and then we end up following it up with an 0 for 2 as we come into a game late. But the Rays, on the other hand, still doing quite well, 17-9 now. We've won a majority of our games in recent weeks. This time we're going up against Detroit. That's a base hit into right field, so Goodman reaching base here against one of the best teams in baseball. This could be a potential playoff preview. The Tigers still as good as always, and we end up actually losing this game 2-1. We go for 1 for 1, and Joe Men has it out for Saul or something after gets a pinch hitting opportunity and singles. He still goes after him, so I don't know what that's about, but either way, you can see 18-10 now, half game lead up on the Yankees in second place. And we are into May now. The Bowman Prospect Spotlight thing likes to pop up at the end of every month. So you can see a slow start for Goodman, only hitting 229, 1 home run and 2 RBI in just 35 at-bats. So it's not like Goodman's had an opportunity to really get a rhythm or anything like that. He's really just playing sporadically, but still you'd like to see a little bit more production out of that bench spot. So here we're going up against the Brewers. That's a base hit into center field off of Michael Fierre's. A nice piece of hitting, taking that low fastball and driving it back up the middle for a base hit. So that is an encouraging sign out of Goodman. Playing in Milwaukee, a little bit of interleague action now. Top of the 9th inning, trying to get on base to try and spark a rally for this team. And that's going to be another base hit, this time off of Tom Gorzolani, I do believe. That is going to get Saul on base, and hopefully the Rays can try to pull out a win here. But a 2-hit game for Saul, and that is an encouraging sign. As I said, Saul trying to heat up a little bit here, just trying to get a little bit of a spark under his belt. And that's another base hit. So Saul, 3 hits in 2 days now, and this one in the top of the 1st inning for the Rays, rocking these weird alternate / throwback uniforms. And we end up reaching base another time, but we end up going 1 for 4. So either way, still getting on base is what counts. Now in the last game against the Milwaukee series, we lined one into left field, and that is now a 3-game hit streak for Goodman. He gets hits in all 3 games against the Brewers, so really starting to find his swing, it appears. Now later in the game, we come back up in the top of the 6th inning, and now this one is going to be a curveball in the dirt, and we still struggle with Major League curveballs. Some of those hooks are pretty deadly, not something you see too often in AAA or AA, so still kind of an adjustment. We go 1 for 3 that day, King in the 6th, but getting a single and a run in the 5th. So now check out Matt Moore, 4-0 with an 0.83 ERA, just really tearing it up right now. This whole pitching staff is tearing it up, and that has been the reason that the Rays have gotten off to this hot start. But this is where Saul would start to slump a little bit. He goes 0 for 4 this game after King against Zach Wheeler. That's the first game of the Mets series, and now we're going to look to play a later game. It's actually like a home-and-home with the Mets, but we end up having a back control training thing here, and we actually do pretty well on it. We get a gold, so that's good. We get some extra training points, which we could probably use right about now. We're still only hitting 242 in our last 10 games, and I think for the season we're probably hitting still around 240 or whatever. So we end up going 0 for 3 the next game. We do work a walk, but like I said, Saul starting to slump a little bit here. Just kind of got out of the rhythm. Here, I ended up doing this last like 4 minutes of the episode in a different play session. So we switch up the stance here, something that I gotta stop doing. I end up reverting back to the Will Myers stance, but I do kind of like Adrian Gonzalez's stance. It's the one I'm using in this, as you saw in that at bat, and we do get a liner back up the middle. Now base is loaded here, and Goodman lining it into right field. That will be caught. A nice contact, I guess. Put a charge into that one, and it was kind of unlucky to hit that right to the right fielder, but either way, we do get a sac fly. So bottom of the 7th now, 1 man on, and that changeup is just deadly. I swung and missed at 2 of those in that at bat, so we end up going 1 for 4 that day with a sac fly and a strikeout. And like I said, hitting off-speed pitches will be something that Saul has to adjust to at the major league level. But here we go. This game was pretty much not a breaking point, but it was one that really stung for a while for Saul. On Mother's Day, he hits into his 2nd double play here already in just the 4th or 5th inning, I believe. And now he's got to come up later in the game. Bottom of the 6th, the base is loaded, and it's time for the Better Call Saul moment of the episode, right? We haven't had one so far. We got to put it in now. 1 out, base is loaded, chance to try and get the race back in this game. And it's his 3rd 4-6-3 double play of the game. Just an absolute... I don't want to say because I don't like swearing in my videos, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Here, Goodman actually puts a good charge into one, but that is caught by the center fielder, Dexter Fowler. So look at that, 3 double plays, 0 for 4, and Saul is really just struggling with the bat right now. The Rays have fallen to 2 games back, and I don't think that's a coincidence. When you put a guy in the middle of the lineup who's not run producing, that is bound to happen. So here, Goodman gets a nice double into left center field, and you might have noticed the huge batter's eye. I was trying out the dynamic difficulty, which I didn't realize put you like on rookie to start, so I ended up turning that off immediately. But I think the idea of dynamic difficulty is cool. But you can see later in the game, we have once again the big batter's eye, and we take advantage, hitting that one into left center field. That one is going to end up falling, one hopping up against the wall. The runner held though, so we'll only get a double out of this and no RBI because the runner had to make sure that was not caught by the left or center fielder. So either way, I turned off the dynamic difficulty after that game because I didn't want to have to kind of work my way up to getting to whatever difficulty and it seemed a little bit fluky, or I guess flawed, I should say. So not fluky, but either way, we go 1 for 4 the next game. Now we're back to the Will Myers stance. We're back to the whatever difficulty we were on before. I don't remember what it was. And Jose Quintana's back on the mound. Remember we had a good game off of him earlier. We got another single the opposite way this time around. So a nice piece of hitting by Saul. Another kind of encouraging sign. And that is pretty much going to do it for the episode. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. It was out. Peace.